All right, so two big moves were made with the Green Bay Packers. The first one being Aaron Rodgers staying with the Packers, signing that contract extension, and the second one being Davante Adams leaving and joining the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, only one move surprised me, and that was actually the Aaron Rodgers move. Aaron Rodgers signing that contract extension with the Packers when he was doing all that drama, all that extra stuff. I thought he was serious. I fell for the pump fake when it sounded like he was all about winning and he was trying to be on the best roster possible. I was thinking he was going to go to Denver. My mind was pretty set that Aaron Rodgers was leaving. He was going to Denver, that he was going to leave the franchise. He was leaving Green Bay. He had enough of it. All indications was that he was giving it one last big run. But, when they fall short to the 49ers the way that they did, and he sees the opportunity to get that big bag from the Packers, he made that the point of emphasis that he wanted to get paid. And I don't begrudge him for that. I'm not mad at any athlete who says they want to get that money. But when you compare Aaron Rodgers to the other great quarterbacks like a Tom Brady who's willing to take less in order to win, you have to factor that in, that Tom Brady has a better roster around him because Tom Brady will take less money in order to win. It's part of the competitiveness, unfortunately. Unfortunately, you can't be the highest paid player and have a competitive roster around you. It just doesn't work that way. And we know Tom Brady has an edge because his wife makes so much money. But hey, that's just part of the game. Tom Brady's able to take less, and because of that, he's able to stack his roster up a little bit more. He's able to stack his chips up. Now that surprised me. Aaron Rodgers staying with the Packers, signing that contract extension, that surprised me. Some hit it on the nail. Some people knew that he was going to stay the whole time. That surprised me though. What didn't surprise me, that surprised most people, was Davante Adams leaving, particularly for the Raiders. And it didn't surprise me at all because it was very NBA-like. This was one of those like almost NBA storylines where like a player is friends with another player and they're kind of hinting at joining forces or coming together, and they make little remarks and there's like some recruitment going on. Like, this felt very NBA-like to me. Davante Adams and Derek Carr, for those of you who don't know, they played together at Fresno State. They're best buds. Davante Adams bought a house in Las Vegas. Reportedly, it's right next to Derek Carr in Las Vegas. So Davante always wanted to come and play with Derek Carr. He vibed with Derek Carr well. Him and Derek Carr, their personalities, they mesh better than Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams do. And you could see that. Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers, they had great chemistry and they got along with each other very well on the field. But it's not very surprising to me that they weren't like best buds off the field. Like, they definitely didn't have no issues with each other, or it wasn't no problems at all. But they weren't like, Davante Adams wasn't just under Aaron Rodgers' like wing and was just like going along with whatever Aaron Rodgers says. Davante Adams is from out here. He's from around the area where I'm from. He's from East Palo Alto. So Davante Adams is a Bay Area kid. He grew up as a Raider fan. He wanted to play for the Raiders all his career. You heard him in the press conference say it was like a storyline, like scripted. Like, he just always wanted to play with the Raiders. Like I said, him and Derek Carr are boys. So it was a match made in heaven. It was lined up. It was going to work that way, and they gave so many hints towards it when they said when they compared their season to like The Last Dance with Jerry Krause and Michael Jordan and Phil. They gave so many hints that this would be the last time that Davante and Aaron Rodgers played together. So I was thinking Aaron Rodgers would go one place, Davante would go another place, but Aaron Rodgers stays. Now they're going to have to build around Aaron Rodgers, try to get some draft picks or something. And Davante Adams goes to the Raiders. So Colin Cowherd is going to reveal some information about that situation. I'm going to let the clip play and we'll talk about it.
A lot of people cover a lot of teams. But when you cover the Packers, it's different. Very few people have like really, really good sources with the Packers. Very small town. They don't like outsiders. Tom Silverstein covers the Packers, has for years. He's one of the one or two people that really gets inside information. Fascinating column today about Davante Adams leaving to the Raiders, the former Packer receiver. Fascinating. First of all, Aaron knew about it long before he signed his contract. Still signed that big contract knowing it would be hard for the front office to get his replacement. So the story goes on to say Rodgers and Davante Adams.
Well, Aaron Rodgers and Davante had communicated to each other that this situation was going on, that this situation was going to occur. And I think that's not, like, nobody's really mentioning that. These guys, they talk to each other. They made it clear that this was going to be their last season playing with each other. Even when Rodgers went out and said Davante Adams is the best player I've ever played with, I felt like that was him hinting at yo, like I'm really appreciating this moment because this guy's a baller and I'm not going to have this guy anymore. That's how I took it. I always took it like they weren't going to be playing with each other anymore and that they knew that and they communicated with each other that they both wanted to get paid and they both had different plans for the future and it just wasn't going to work out.
Are tight on the field, but Adams is not part of Rodgers' inner circle. Receiver Randall Cobb is, tackle David Bakhtiari are, but Adams doesn't run with that crowd. He's very much a family guy. He doesn't golf with celebrities. He doesn't hang out in clubs or push his brand.
And that's Davante Adams just being a real Bay Area cat. Bay Area cats, they just move to the beat of their own drum. You know what I mean? Like, Bay Area cats, he's not really... And Aaron Rodgers is from California, too. He's a little more NorCal, but guys from the Bay, they're not just going to follow along with what you do. There's real pride in the Bay Area of moving to your own... to the beat of your own drum and doing your own thing. So, Davante Adams wasn't just going to follow Aaron Rodgers or, do whatever they're doing just to fit in. He was going to be his own man. So that was going to come when you have Davante Adams join your franchise. He's just not going to click up. And Aaron Rodgers, he's very, the energy that he gives off when he has to have like Randall Cobb come and, David Bakhtiari and, Aaron, he likes to be surrounded by like yes men. He likes to be surrounded by guys who are going to go along with whatever he likes. He likes to be very comfortable, Aaron likes to set up situations where he's comfortable, and I don't begrudge him for that. Once again, I don't begrudge him for that either. It's just calling it for what it is, He wants to have Randall Cobb there. It wasn't so much about trusting Randall Cobb or liking him as a player. It was just Randall Cobb is like a friend of his. Randall Cobb it makes it easier in the locker room when he has Cobb there, And Randall Cobb's a guy who they're kind of in sync a little bit as far as on the field. Randall Cobb kind of knows what Aaron Rodgers wants to do. So that's the real reason why he got it. I would compare it to Gronk and Brady. Like Gronk kind of lost a step, but Brady still wants Gronk around. Or Steph Curry wants Damian Lee or Kent Bazemore around because it just helps him in the locker room. He likes having a friend.
He's a good dude. I can confirm this. I have had multiple Packer people tell me through the years he is sort of the guy in the room, talent and work ethic. It goes on to say...
Yeah, from the outside looking in, it seems like Davante Adams is just a guy who's about his business and is very professional. And Davante Adams, by the way, I was saying this last year. I wonder if I said it in any of my videos at all. But during the regular season, I said Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers were both top 3 in the NFL. Like, I might have said that in one of the videos and one of the spread picks that I did. But Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers, those guys were like 1 and 2 to me last season. With Davante being the best player Cooper Kupp being the best player, and Davante Adams being second and Aaron Rodgers being third, just in the regular season. Now, of course, the Packers fell short. So in the postseason, and when you overlook the entire season as a whole, you can't put those guys in the top 3 because they came up so short, especially Aaron. But yeah, in the regular season, both those guys to me were top 3.
Rodgers heaped praise on Davante all year, so it's not like he tried to devalue him. But as much as Aaron claims he doesn't like the spotlight, he embraces it, sucks a lot of oxygen out of whatever room he's in, and the offseason became all about Aaron once again.
Yeah, Davante got a little bit too big for Green Bay. He was just too much of a star. He's better. Davante Adams is really, he's arguably the best player in the NFL to me. Davante Adams is always open. And you could argue that Davante Adams is better than Aaron Rodgers. So, like, at his position. I know we value the quarterback position more, so you'd rather have a great quarterback than a great receiver. But at his position, you can argue that Davante Adams is better than Aaron Rodgers is at his position. Like, they're neck and neck right now. And if you had to pick, you're going to go Aaron Rodgers. I understand. I'm not here to make hot takes. I understand you're going to go Aaron Rodgers because the way he's been playing in the regular season the past 2 years is like incredible. It's second to none, really. But because of the postseason struggles and because Davante is just always open, like Davante's just, it's crazy. Like Aaron sees 2 people guarding Davante and he still throws it there. you can really argue that Davante Adams is the best player in the NFL. So he got a little too big for Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, he gets all the attention in Green Bay. He's the man in Green Bay, and sometimes you can't have two lions in the same setting. So Davante Adams had to go, and he had to go make his own way, and he's doing it in Vegas. Derek Carr is welcoming him in with open arms, and they have a squad in Vegas now. They have a squad. They're projected by most people to go fourth in the division, but anything can happen, and they have a squad. On offense, you have Hunter Renfrow. He's always open. Davante Adams, as I said already, as I've been saying, he's a beast, arguably the best player at his position. Darren Waller is top 3 at his position. I'd say after Kelsey and Kittle. I think Kittle's the best tight end in the NFL. That's just my opinion. But after Kittle and Kelsey, I'd go Darren Waller third when he's healthy. You have an O-line that struggled, but it struggled last season, but it got better towards the end at blocking for the run. It got better at the run. And you have Josh Jacobs back there Josh Jacobs is a beast. Josh Jacobs, he struggled early on in the season, and I had some worries about him, but towards the end of the season, he turned it up, and he showed that he still got it. So Josh Jacobs is a beast. You have Kenyon Drake back there to get some catches. He can run and he can catch. Derek Carr is a very competent quarterback, arguably a top 10 quarterback in the league. I'd say he hovers at right about 10, 11. I'd take Derek Carr over Dak Prescott just to make it clear of what I think about Derek Carr. I think he's a real good quarterback, so I take him over Dak. That offense, they got some pieces, and on the defensive end, they have a pass rush now with Chandler Jones, Max Crosby. In the secondary, they picked up some pieces. Now they're looking at Honey Badger. So they got some things going on. They got some things going on. They might get Kyle Van Noy. So the Raiders got something going on over there. They're projected to go fourth, but they're dangerous. The Raiders are definitely a dangerous team.
Isn't this interesting? So Tom Brady, since he arrived in Tampa, has worked the phones, calling, DMing, texting, messaging other players on other teams to come play for the Bucs. Leonard Fournette, Russell Gage. Russell Gage is an Atlanta receiver. He said last week, I thought somebody was playing a prank on me when Brady called me asking me to come play with him in Tampa.
But once again, we just have to remember, Tom Brady's able to take less money because his wife makes so much money. So he's not really bag chasing. Tom Brady's not really bag chasing as much as Aaron Rodgers is. And Tom Brady is in Tampa Bay. He set himself up in a position to go to Tampa Bay where people want to come to Tampa. I know Tom Brady was able to get some people to New England, but people want to come to Tampa. So when you have that warm weather and those conditions and the beach and all that, people want to come to Tampa. It's hard to get anybody to agree to come to Green Bay. We saw that Odell was considering it, but when it mattered most, Odell said, nah, I'm going to the Rams. So he picked LA. He has a spot in LA, and it worked out for him. He won a Super Bowl.
But because of that call, Russell Gage is now a Buccaneer. That's all Brady's done. Call Gronk. Call receivers. Call Antonio Brown.
He called Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown calling God. Yo, Antonio Brown need to call God. Whatever line he calling the wrong line. He need to make sure he pressing the right buttons. He need to call the right line. Yo, Antonio Brown, man. All jokes aside, Antonio Brown is one of the greatest receivers in NFL history. Like, AB is just crazy. Like, when AB was on the Bucs, he was the best receiver on the Bucs. I don't care what anybody says. He was better than Mike Evans. He was better than Chris Godwin. It showed in the Super Bowl. When Brady needed to make throws, he was throwing it to AB. He was throwing it to Gronk. He was throwing it to those guys. Leonard Fournette was making plays. Like, and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Mike Evans is a very good over-the-top receiver. You throw it high, he's going to go up and get it. He beat Ramsey going deep versus the Rams in the playoffs last season. And Chris Godwin is a do-it-all receiver. Chris Godwin is nasty. He's a beast too. And Brady loves Chris Godwin. But AB is the do-it-all guy. He's a beast. And he's only like, 5'10", 5'11". He's different, dude. He's the top 5 receiver all time, in my opinion.
Go above and beyond. Forget the pay cut he takes, which he has reworked so he's a tiny cap hit to make it work. Yet Aaron Rodgers, all these years, can't form a relationship with Davante Adams, his best teammate. You got to be kidding me. According to this story, Aaron knew long before it was public he wasn't coming back. Did it stop him from taking $50 million and needing to be the highest paid quarterback? Nope. And because of that, Zadarius Smith, edge rusher, is now a Viking.
Well, both guys wanted to get paid. Davante wanted to get paid. Aaron Rodgers wanted to get paid. And they made agreement with each other that they were going to go all out and they were going to win that Super Bowl last season. And they fell short. So they just decided that they weren't going to deviate from the plans and run it back one more time. They stuck to their guns. They stuck to the script. The script was, we're going to go all out this year. We're going to win a Super Bowl. Then we're both going to do our thing and get paid wherever we go. And Davante had a hard time, for what it's worth, Davante probably had a hard time latching on to Aaron Rodgers. He knows Aaron Rodgers is better than Derek Carr, but he probably had a hard time latching on to Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers is like considering retirement, and you don't want to get stuck with Jordan Love in Green Bay. Or like Davante's in his prime right now. He's like 30 years old, so you don't want to get stuck with Jordan Love in Green Bay, who they say Jordan Love is terrible. Like, he didn't do much against the Kansas City Chiefs in that one game. That was a tough spot for him, just having to come in like that. But they say in practice that Jordan Love is just like can. So, Davante doesn't want to get stuck with him. So he went somewhere more comfortable, which is playing for the hometown team, the hometown franchise, even though they're in Vegas now, and playing with his boy, Derek Carr, and starting something new and being the cornerstone of something else. So Rodgers and Davante, it didn't work out as they planned to, but man, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to miss that combination. I'm going to miss Aaron Rodgers throwing it over the shoulder to Davante Adams. Like, they were just on sync, on ultimate sync. Like, they just would look at each other and knew what the play was without even, no signals or nothing. It was unbelievable.
And one of his receivers signed with the Chiefs yesterday, a deep threat. They have no deep threat now, basically. Their number one receiver is now Alan Lazard, who would not be a number 1, 2, 3, or 4 with Tampa and Tom. It's called sacrificing. But again,
well, the Green Bay Packers are probably going to make a run at Jarvis Landry, maybe Odell Beckham when he comes back. They're going to draft wide receivers. I mean, they should draft wide receivers. There's some good wide receivers out there. It seems like there's always good wide receivers in the draft nowadays. All the young football players want to play wide receiver, so that's where the talent's at. So they shouldn't have too much of a hard time getting competent wide receiver play. It's Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day. Somebody's going to want to go to Green Bay and catch some footballs for him. They'll deal with the conditions and the weather if it means getting to catch footballs for him. Robert Tonyan is going to be back, and Tonyan's going to be catching the football for him instead of Mercedes Lewis. Mercedes Lewis had that big fumble against the Niners. He's more of a blocker at this point. He's not really a threat in the offense anymore. So getting Tonyan and drafting a wide receiver or picking up a wide receiver in free agency, they'll be able to make it work. The offense isn't going to be as scary as it was with Davante Adams, but Aaron Rodgers does have a great record without Davante Adams. He did go to Arizona and beat the Cardinals, who were undefeated at the time, without Davante Adams. So Aaron Rodgers, as much as we're giving him flack and saying, yo, you're not the ultimate competitor because if you wanted to win, you would keep Davante Adams, he wins without Davante Adams. He beat an undefeated Arizona team without Davante Adams in Arizona. Like, the Packers were -7. They were missing. No, the Packers were +7, excuse me. They were 7-point underdogs heading into Arizona, and they won the game outright with missing not only Davante, but hella other guys too. So, and I think Tonyan got hurt in that game. I think that's the game that Tonyan got hurt in. So Aaron knows that he's a gamer. He knows that he can make things happen. And with that West Coast offense, with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones in the backfield, they're going to catch the ball and they're going to run well. So he can always rely on that run game to kind of bail him out a little bit. They'll just make some tweaks to the offense and they'll still be good.
And Aaron would not even sacrifice with a vaccine. Listen, I'm not a mandate guy. If you don't want to get vaccinated, don't get vaccinated. I did. My kids did. I'm not going to lecture you.
Well, Colin always changes his tune on this because sometimes he's like, you got to get the jab or else you're selfish. Or he'll do segments where he demonizes Kirk Cousins or Carson Wentz and he just goes on and on about, why wouldn't you do it? And, he makes little jabs. He makes little jokes and pokes at them for not getting, no pun intended, he pokes at them for not getting the vaccine or whatever. But, now he's trying to say, he doesn't care or it's up to you, whatever the case is. I don't know. Stick to talking about the game, dude.
But if you're on a team, it's not about you. It's about the club and sacrificing. Aaron wouldn't get vaxxed. And when they played Kansas City in the biggest game of the year, he wasn't available.
Well, I understand the argument that if you're playing a team sport, you got to make yourself as available as possible for the team. But once again, this jab is like this whole thing. We're talking about something that hasn't been fully experimented. Like, we don't know all the ramifications of taking this jab. So you don't know how you're going to feel or what the long-term effects are from this. It's something that was rushed. So I'm not going to get on any player who says that they just need to wait a little longer and need to have some more information before proceeding with it. And he did his thing. He said him and Alan Lazard had to wait and at 5 in the morning every single day, and they were separated from the team. They had to do weight training separate from the team. They had to eat separate from the team. Everything that they did was separate from the team, and he handled that, and he stuck with all the procedures throughout the year. So he did what he was supposed to do. And once again, I don't begrudge him. I'm not going to get on anybody's helmet for not taking that jab. I haven't taken it. I'm not going to get on anybody for taking it just because we just don't know enough about it yet. So that's his choice.
Nor apparently was he available enough to form a relationship with one of the hardest working, most humble, decent guys in the league that also happened to be his most important teammate. No relationship. Tom now has a relationship with guys he didn't know 2 years ago. Not stars, 3 receivers, 4 receivers, guys like Antonio Brown, who I wouldn't even want to be friends with from what I've read about him. Now, Tom made that work too. Sacrificing beyond yourself. So I don't want to hear now, I don't want to hear belly aching ever from Aaron saying, I don't have this and I don't have that. You haven't worked to get this. You haven't sacrificed to get that. I don't want to hear it. Because Aaron privately will say, we don't have a good enough defense. He did now. Well, I don't have good enough receivers. Whose fault is that? You think if Davante really felt close to you, I mean,
that's a valid point.
Real bonding relationship, he goes to the dysfunctional Raiders? I don't know. But I don't want to hear it anymore. Leadership is about sacrifice. Leadership is about doing things for other people, not just living on your island. Remarkable story and remarkable insight why one guy's got a trophy room and another quarterback has a singular trophy.
Yeah, so that's it on that. We'll see how Davante Adams does with the Raiders. I think him and Derek Carr are going to be a very good combination. They're going to be very lethal. And we'll see how Aaron Rodgers does with the Green Bay Packers. I'm sure that they're going to be able to approximate for the loss of Davante Adams with some other receivers through the draft and free agency, and that the run game will be enough to kind of keep them afloat. They'll win games. They're the Green Bay Packers. They'll win games in the regular season, but if they couldn't win in the postseason with the roster that they had last year and with the way they were clicking last year, I just don't see how they win a championship. It's been a long time since they brought a title to Titletown, and I don't see it happening next year. But we'll just have to wait and find out. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.